All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. A hilarious deep dive into the madness of The Shining. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is widely regarded as a masterclass in horror. Between the creepy twins, the cascading rivers of blood, and Jack Nicholson's gleefully unhinged grin, it's easy to forget the film's real horror, Jack Torrance's writing habits. For a man who claims to be working on the greatest novel of all time, he sure spends a lot of time typing all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, over and over again, like a psychotic stenographer. What could possibly drive a man to produce such a maddening manuscript? Let's break it down, one dull page at a time. The first draft blues. Every writer knows the agony of the first draft. Jack Torrance, like many writers before him, begins his stay at the Overlook Hotel with lofty ambitions. He's going to create something great, something important, maybe a novel, maybe the world's most unnerving motivational poster. Unfortunately, inspiration doesn't come easy. Faced with writer's block and the growing realization that he has nothing to say, Jack does what any desperate writer would do. He fakes productivity. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy is the perfect cover. From a distance, the steady clatter of Jack's typewriter sounds like the industrious hum of a literary genius. Wendy, bless her naive little heart, assumes her husband is crafting the next great American novel. Meanwhile, Jack is essentially producing the psychological equivalent of a spam email, repetitive, unsettling, and devoid of meaning. Is this art? But wait, what if Jack's obsessive repetition is actually a bold artistic statement? Perhaps he's channeling the experimental spirit of modernist writers like Gertrude Stein or Samuel Beckett. By repeating the same sentence ad nauseum, Jack may be commenting on the monotony of life, the futility of human ambition, or the slow unraveling of his own sanity. It's performance art, but instead of a gallery, it's a creepy hotel, and instead of applause, he gets a horrified gasp from Wendy. Of course, there's another possibility. Jack isn't making art. He's just nuts. The work-life balance from hell. Jack's mantra, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, suggests he's concerned about his work-life balance. Ironically, his solution is to double down on the work part, eliminating play entirely. Instead of bonding with his family or taking a brisk winter hike, Jack chooses to spend his days hammering away at his typewriter, spiraling into madness with every keystroke. By the time Wendy discovers his manuscript, Jack has reached peak dullness. He's no longer just a boy. He's a boy with an axe and a severe case of cabin fever. The Overlook Hotel may have supernatural powers, but it's Jack's refusal to take a break that truly seals his doom. A round of snowball fights with Danny or a few board games with Wendy might have been all it took to save the Torrance family from disaster. Instead, Jack let his grindset mentality drive him straight into the abyss. Therapeutic typing or murderous manifesto? Let's be real, Jack's obsessive typing isn't about creating a novel. It's therapy. Each keystroke is an outlet for his frustration, anger, and growing resentment toward his family. The repetition of all work and no play is less about dull boys and more about Jack's attempt to convince himself that his isolation and toil are worth it. The longer he types, the more he believes his own lie. Unfortunately, as far as coping mechanisms go, this one is about as effective as trying to cure a headache by banging your head against a wall. Instead of finding peace, Jack finds rage. Instead of inspiration, he finds ghosts in a ballroom. If he'd swapped his typewriter for a yoga mat, things might have gone very differently. Is the typewriter haunted? This being The Shining, we can't rule out the possibility that the typewriter itself is cursed. Perhaps the Overlook Hotel, in its infinite malevolence, decided to toy with Jack by turning his creative ambitions into a Sisyphean nightmare. Every time Jack sits down to write, the typewriter hijacks his thoughts, forcing him to churn out endless variations of the same sentence. It's like Groundhog Day, but with fewer gophers and more homicidal tendencies. If the typewriter is haunted, it might also explain why Jack doesn't notice how ridiculous his work has become. To him, the pages of repetitive nonsense probably look like War and Peace. It's only when Wendy flips through the manuscript that the illusion is shattered, revealing the true extent of Jack's descent into madness. Either that or Wendy is the real victim here, forced to proofread her husband's incoherent drivel while simultaneously dodging his attempts to murder her. Final thoughts: the dullest boy in the Overlook. Ultimately, Jack Torrance's endless repetition of all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy is the perfect encapsulation of his downfall. It's both a cry for help and a warning, a testament to the dangers of unchecked ambition and the perils of isolation. It's also hilarious in a deeply unsettling way. Imagine the publisher's reaction if Jack had submitted his novel for publication. We love the minimalist concept, but could you maybe include a plot? So, what lesson can we take from Jack's typing escapades? Perhaps it's this. All work and no play doesn't just make Jack a dull boy. It makes him a homicidal maniac. So next time you're feeling overworked, take a break. Play a game, hug your family, or go for a walk. Just don't forget to lock up your typewriter. You never know when the Overlook Hotel might come calling.